What if women should keep silent in church is one of the most misunderstood verses in the New Testament. What if Paul was not saying women can never speak, but addressing disorder in a specific worship gathering? Most people hear this verse and think, women cannot pray, women cannot speak, women cannot teach anyone anything. But when you read the wider context, the situation is much more specific. Paul is not trying to erase women from ministry. He is trying to bring order to a chaotic church. Before we start, click the first link in the description for your free Ultimate Study Guide PDF, Messianic Prophecies from Every Book of the Old Testament. Number 1. Paul already allowed women to pray and prophesy. This is the part many people miss. Earlier in 1 Corinthians, Paul gives instructions about women praying and prophesying. That means women were speaking in the gathered church. They were praying, they were prophesying, and Paul does not say, stop doing that forever. He gives instructions for how it should be done properly. So when we later read, women should keep silent, we have to ask, silent from what? Because Paul cannot mean absolute silence in every sense if he already spoke about women praying and prophesying. That is the first secret. The Bible must be read in context, not as isolated sentences. Number 2, the issue is disorder. 1 Corinthians 14 is about a chaotic worship service. People are speaking in tongues without interpretation. Prophets are speaking over each other. Everyone wants to contribute at once. So Paul repeatedly tells different groups to be silent in certain situations. Tongue speakers should be silent if there is no interpreter. Prophets should be silent if another receives revelation, and then women are told to be silent in that context too. So silent does not mean one group can never speak again. It means stop speaking in a way that disrupts the gathering. Paul's main command is, let all things be done decently and in order. That is the deeper revelation. The problem was not women having voices. The problem was disorder in worship. Number 3, the Bible includes women who speak for God. This is why the simplistic reading falls apart. Miriam is called a prophetess. Deborah judges Israel. Huldah speaks the word of the Lord to leaders. Anna speaks about Jesus in the temple. Priscilla helps explain the way of God more accurately. Philip's daughters prophesy. Women are the first witnesses of the resurrection. So the Bible does not present women as spiritually invisible. God repeatedly uses women as witnesses, prophets, teachers, and servants in his redemptive story. That does not remove every debate about church leadership. Christians still discuss those passages carefully, but it does mean we should be very careful before turning one difficult verse into a total silencing of women. Because Paul's deeper concern is not domination, it is worship shaped by peace, order, and truth. And from a Christian perspective, this matters because Jesus treated women with surprising dignity. He taught Mary of Bethany at his feet like a disciple. He spoke publicly with the woman at the well. He received the ministry of women who followed him. And after his resurrection, he sent Mary Magdalene to announce the news to the disciples. That is not erasure. That is restoration. So this verse should not be used carelessly, not to mock Scripture, and not to silence people Scripture itself shows God using. The real question is not only, can women speak? The deeper question is, are we reading the Bible faithfully? Are we honoring the whole story? Are we seeking worship that reflects the character of Christ? Because Paul was not defending chaos, he was correcting it. And the God of the Bible is not afraid of women's voices. He has been using them to bear witness, from the Old Testament prophets to the empty tomb.